Hey, what's up everybody in Ontraport Land? It's Ken from ClickFix here, coming at you with another quick installment of how to use some of our free shortcodes. And today we're going to be talking about how to create a page where when you click on a button, it is going to show a form that will be hidden. Now, as you can see, the form here is displayed right from the very beginning. But what if you wanted to set up something that is kind of a pseudo two-step, but rather than using a lightbox, you wanted the form to actually show up at the bottom of a page or in the middle or wherever you want. So that's what we're going to do today. And today we're going to try it a little bit differently, and we're going to actually be building it basically from scratch on the back of two of our templates that we've just decided to combine. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get your page ready to go, decide where you're going to have your form. And what we need to do first is we need to actually get the ClickFix shortcode snippet that enables all of this. All right, so we come over to doc.clickfix.io. We grab this script. Obviously, we are assuming that you've already registered the domain that you're going to use to make all this work. Then we go ahead and we hide the div just so that none of the text shows up when we're actually loading the page. Next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to get some of the information about the different elements and blocks on the page. So we're going to come to our page here. We're going to use the ClickFix helper. And what we need to do is we actually need to first hide this block here, right? So we go ahead and select the block IDs, come to the page, go ahead and copy that. Now, blocks in particular are something that you could hide just with the normal Ontraport out-of-the-box settings. But in order for this to work, we actually need to hide it with the ClickFix stuff. Now, of course, using ClickFix, one of the advantages is that you can actually hide individual columns or individual elements as well. But in this case, we want the whole block to be hidden, right? So we're going to go hide block. Going to throw that ID in there. Let's go ahead and click done and publish it just to see if that worked the way we wanted it to. Go ahead and refresh this page. And we can see that the block is hidden. Okay. So obviously when the page first loads, it's going to load here at the top, so they're not going to see the block show and then hide. So the block is basically hidden. Now we need to tell the page that, hey, if we have a certain trigger, we want that block to actually be shown. So what are we going to do? Well, we can do an anchor trigger, and basically to make an anchor, we just have to come here and type in an anchor, and I'm going to say show form. You know, you can make this up however you want, but it has to have the anchor sign, and it has to have the period in there in order for it to work. So I'm going to just say show form as my anchor. All right. And I have two buttons, so I'm going to say show.form on this one as well. So that way both buttons do what I want it to. All right. Now I'm going to come here and I'm going to say, all right, let's come back to the documentation here and let's figure out what we need to use. So we've already used the hide block, right? So we're going to need to figure out how to show the block. And all we need to do, the other thing that we have to do is we actually need to make sure that we understand when that block needs to be shown. So we're going to say it is a condition. So this is going to be if anchor, right? Because we're using anchors. So we're going to use the if anchor shortcode. So you can see here from the example that it kind of lays it out. If anchor is this, then do this, right? So we're going to use something similar. And we're just going to copy that. We're going to go back to our page. We're going to jump into the custom code here. And so at the outset, we're going to hide this block. But now we need to say that, well, if the anchor is whatever it is, which is in this case, show form, then I don't want to hide a block. I want to show a block. All right. And I don't want the example one. I want the one that's actually hidden. Right? And then I'm actually going to add one more thing here, and it's going to be a redirect shortcode. And that's simply because when I click the button, I don't want it just to, well, actually, let me just show you. If we don't put the redirect in here, what's going to happen is save. We'll publish this again. All right. So we're here on our page now. We're reloading it. All right. So we can see that the block is in fact not there, right? So if we click on this button, okay, what happened? Well, the form showed up, but the user doesn't know, right? So if you just put the trigger and you just put the condition in there to show the block, well, it does what it's supposed to, but the user's never going to know, and they're going to think that your page is broken or whatever because they won't necessarily scroll down, right? So we need to actually tell the system that, okay, not only do I want to show the block when somebody does that trigger, I actually want to make sure that the page redirects to that block. So that way they actually see what it is that I want them to see. All right, let's try that. Top, let's go ahead and refresh. Actually, we need to refresh with just the regular URL. We don't want any of the anchors in there, or else it's going to mess up what we're trying to do. So we see that, in fact, the form is not there. Let's click on this button, and you can see that the form shows up. Now with that redirect, because it was already at the top, it's not going to redirect it if they're already at the bottom, because they'll be able to see it. Let's try it from the top. All right, so when they click on the button, it actually redirects them to the bottom of the page, so that way they can see the form and they can start filling it out. Now we're working on a way to add some animation to this so it actually slides out smoothly, or you can add some different fade in techniques and things like that. But for now, this will get you started with some ideas on how you can incorporate hidden forms and other hidden features on the exact same page, rather than having people either click a button and have a lightbox show up, or click a button and go to another page. You can put all of your different forms on the same one. Now you can see from the documentation that we have different conditions and things like that, but also, as I mentioned at the very beginning, you can not only do blocks, but you can also do individual columns, right? So what's an individual column? Well, if I really wanted to, I could actually show or hide the columns here inside of a block. So if I really wanted to, I could hide or show individual columns based on user interaction. So in this case, if I wanted to, I could just have the button actually display column 43, right? Maybe I have just 53 and 49 showing for whatever reason. But once you jump into doc.clickfix.io and you start to watch some of the other videos, you'll get a pretty good idea of just everything that's possible, and probably come up with some use cases that we haven't even thought of yet. So I hope that helps. It was a quick one. If you have any questions, like always, please drop them in the comments below or reach out to me directly, and I'll do my best to answer every single one.